You can fake confidence. You can fake success. You can fake having your life together. But there's one behavior that instantly exposes women who are still trapped in society's most dangerous conditioning. And it's killing your potential, your need to be liked. While other women chase approval like addicts, Stoic women understood something most will never grasp. The moment you need others to like you, you stop being someone worth liking. You become a hollow shell, performing for scraps of validation. And the ancient Stoic women, they saw this trap everywhere. Because in their world, just like ours, a woman's survival seemed to depend on being agreeable, pleasant, and accommodating. But they knew the truth. That path doesn't lead to safety, it leads to invisibility. Today, I'm going to show you 3 behaviors that expose women still trapped in the likability prison. And once you spot these patterns in yourself, you'll understand why your life feels small, why your dreams feel distant, and why you keep sacrificing pieces of yourself for people who don't even remember your name. Because the less you need to be liked, the more magnetic you become. The less you seek approval, the more respect you command. The less you perform femininity, the more powerful your authentic self becomes. 1. Over-softening your opinions. This is the first behavior that exposes a woman still trapped in likability conditioning. Over-softening your opinions. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I might be wrong, but this is just my opinion, but I don't know if this makes sense, but you've been taught to wrap every thought in apologies, to cushion every idea with disclaimers, to shrink your voice before you even speak. And you think you're being humble. You think you're being nice. But here's what you're really doing. You're begging for permission to exist. Stoic women understood something you've forgotten. Your thoughts have value, not because others agree with them, but because they're yours. When you constantly soften your opinions, when you pre-apologize for taking up space, when you phrase statements as questions, you're not being considerate. You're being cowardly. Think about it. When was the last time you said exactly what you thought without checking the room first? When did you last state your opinion with the confidence it deserved? When did you stop worrying about whether your words would make someone uncomfortable? If you can't remember, you're not living your life. You're performing someone else's version of who you should be. Stoic women had a radical approach. They spoke their truth and let others adjust. They didn't modify their thoughts to fit the audience. They didn't dilute their wisdom to make it palatable. They understood that your power lies not in being agreeable, but in being undeniably yourself. 2. Reflexive accommodation. This second behavior is even more insidious. Reflexive accommodation. This is when you automatically adjust your plans, your preferences, your entire life around what others want. Someone suggests a restaurant you hate? Sure, sounds great. Your friend often cancels plans last minute? No problem at all. Your colleague asks you to cover their work again? Of course, I'm happy to help. You think you're being kind. You think you're being a good friend, a good partner, a good person. But what you're really doing is teaching people that your needs don't matter. That your time has no value. That your preferences are negotiable, while theirs are sacred. Stoic women saw this pattern in the women around them, and they recognized it for what it was. Not generosity, not kindness, but a deep-seated fear of disappointing others, because you believe their comfort is more important than your authenticity. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. When you're constantly accommodating, you're not being nice. You're being manipulative. You're trading your authentic self for the illusion of connection. You're hoping that if you're agreeable enough, flexible enough, selfless enough, people will love you. But they don't love you. They love the convenient version of you. The you that never says no, never has needs, never creates friction. And that version isn't real. Stoic women understood that real relationships require friction. They require you to have boundaries, preferences, and non-negotiables. They require you to be someone with substance, not just someone who reflects back what others want to see. When you accommodate reflexively, you rob people of the chance to know the real you. And you rob yourself of the chance to build relationships based on truth rather than performance. 3. Emotional caretaking. This behavior is the most destructive. Emotional caretaking is when you take responsibility for everyone else's emotional state. Someone's upset. You must have done something wrong. Someone's disappointed. You need to fix it. Someone's angry. You need to calm them down. You've become the emotional janitor of your social circle, constantly cleaning up feelings that aren't even yours. And you think this makes you caring. You think this makes you valuable. But here's what it really makes you: exhausted, resentful, and completely disconnected from your own emotional reality. You need to understand something. You cannot be responsible for other people's emotions without losing yourself completely. When you make their feelings your responsibility, you're not being empathetic. You're being codependent. Think about the last time you were truly angry. Did you express it? Or did you swallow it because you were worried about how it would affect others? Think about the last time you were disappointed. Did you communicate it? Or did you pretend everything was fine because you didn't want to be difficult? Every time you prioritize someone else's comfort over your own truth, you teach them that your emotions don't matter. And eventually, you start to believe it too. Stoic women had a revolutionary approach to emotions. They felt them fully, expressed them authentically, and let others deal with their reactions. They understood that your emotional state is yours to manage, and everyone else's is theirs to handle. When you combine all three behaviors, over-softening your opinions, reflexive accommodation, and emotional caretaking, you don't get a good person. You get a ghost. A woman so busy managing everyone else's experience that she's forgotten she's supposed to have one of her own. This is why your life feels small. This is why your dreams feel distant. This is why you wake up exhausted, even when you've done nothing but please others all day. You're not living your life. You're performing a version of femininity that was designed to keep you small, manageable, and invisible. But here's the truth that will set you free. The moment you stop needing to be liked, you become someone worth knowing. The moment you stop performing agreeableness, you become genuinely magnetic. The moment you stop caretaking everyone else's emotions, you become someone with real emotional depth. Your power doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being undeniably yourself. And the women who understand this, they don't chase approval, they command respect. They speak their truth without apology. They have boundaries without explanation. They feel their emotions without managing everyone else's. And that's not just strength, that's freedom. Stop being likable. Start being real. The world needs more women who are impossible to ignore, not more women who are easy to overlook. If this hit you like a punch to the gut, then you're ready for more. Subscribe for the Stoic wisdom society doesn't want you to know. Because while other women are still performing, we're building empires in silence.